Alright, so we're talking about the metric system, and I'm going to be talking about two different ways to do it. This is the King Henry way, or using a mnemonic device to memorize your steps. You can choose whichever way you'd like, but this is the King Henry way. So you have a little memory device here, and it uses King Henry. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Now, a couple things that this stands for. The K stands for kilo, and these are all prefixes. So kilo would be like kilometer or kilogram, kilometer. So these are prefixes. Hecto, H is for hecto, D is for deca. And then I want to kind of talk for a minute about the units. The U for unusually. This could mean three different units. We either have, we're either converting in liters, meters, or grams. Okay, so if you see just one base, this is what I'm talking about. So this is also, you could say, base as well. D is for deci, C is for centi, and M is for milli. You're probably familiar with centimeters, millimeters, decimeters. Okay, again, that would be the base of meters for an example. So now let's work on converting using our little mnemonic device. So let's say we have 34 meters, and I want to see how many centimeters are in 34 meters. One thing that you have to know in order to do this method is place value. I need you to write your ones place in 34 at the letter of the unit you want to begin. We want to begin at this unit right here, which is meters. And this so happens to be our base unit. Remember, that's what I talked about, the three that it could be. So 34 meters. So we want to write the 4 under our unit, that is meter. And the decimal right here is just at the end. Remember how I always say decimals are at the end of whole numbers? We want to move that decimal point to the letter that we want to end. Okay, we want to end at centimeters. So I want to move my decimal to the C in our little phrase here. The next thing that we want to do is we want to fill in the empty places with zeros, and you want to put a 0 where there is a decimal point. Now, this is one of those tricky things about using this method. Only when we're moving the decimal to the right do we add a decimal or add a 0 where there's a decimal. So only when we're moving to the right. Okay, only when we're moving this way. All right, so not only do we fill in the empty space with a 0, but we also fill in where there's a decimal point. Okay, so for our final answer, 34 meters has 3,400 centimeters. Let's try another one. 500 milliliters equals how many kiloliters? The K is for kiloliters. So again, our ones place is right here, and we want to write that at the unit that we want to begin, and that is our milliliters. So that would be right here, milli. And you want to put that 0 right there under the M and then line up the rest of your number as usual. Decimal point is at the end here. We want to move that decimal point to the letter that you want to end. We want to end at kiloliters. So that would go under the K here. And we put our decimal point right there. Next step is to fill in any empty spaces with zeros. Now, see how we moved the decimal to the left this time? You don't have to put a 0. Actually, I do not want you to put a 0 where this decimal point is. When you move to the left, all you do is just fill in the empty spots with zeros. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then here's our final answer right down here. So in 500 milliliters, there are that many kiloliters. And you can write the zeros at the end. It won't change your answer.